I still need to do the fitness video, the fitness transformation video, as I've really gotten pretty darn good shape in the past 6 months, just doing CrossFit 4 or 5 days a week. So I'm actually later today. I'm gonna try and film that session. I haven't filmed the session in 5 months or so. I think it was during winter time. And today's workout is kind of like an insane workout, and it'd be a perfect one to film because it's an 800-meter run is how it starts out, and then you go into I think it's 50 pull-ups, then 100 push-ups, and then 150 squats, and then another 800-meter run. So it's like a mini Murph is basically what they call it. And that would be a fun one. I should be able to knock that out in about 20 minutes, and that would be a cool one to showcase for the finale of like the fitness transformation, so to speak. There is like the full Murph, but I just don't know if I can do the whole thing. We'll see. That would be an hour long, and it would be 1 mile, which is considerably longer, and then 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and then 300 squats, followed by another mile. So that's pretty close. I know I'd probably be around an hour on that one, and that's a hell of a record time. I'm gonna definitely try it on Memorial Day, but for filming purposes, the mini Murph probably would be good. I would say I started. When did you start working out? At what age? I was definitely a nerd all through high school. Just no, never worked out, never lifted a weight at all during that period of my life. So I'd say like 22, 22, 21. I mean, I ran a little bit, I guess, in my teens, but not much. It wasn't until my mid 20s that I got kind of in shape, I would say. That's where I had six pack, and I could run about a sub 25K. So very in shape, and I would work out usually about 2 hours a day back then. But my diet and nutrition was just awful. So even fast forward 20 years to now, you know, I would say I'm in better shape now, health wise, because of my nutrition's like infinitely better than it was back then. I don't drink because back then I drank like a fish and ate pizza and just all the stuff you can't do when you're 40. Well, you can do it when you're 40. You're just gonna be fat and yeah, that's just it. Like you can't have bad nutrition and then work out. I mean, I guess you can, but you're gonna just have like severe dad bod. It's like totally that's how it works when you're older. Like when you're 20, you can get away with anything. And yeah, but in my 40s, I totally see like if I just screw up a little bit, it's just awful. I just die. Yeah. So I mean, this one I'm trying a little bit different for my year end goal is to do a handstand walk. So I flip upside down in a handstand and I can walk like I think 30 feet is my goal. So that's a pretty good length of time. And then I would love to get back to a sub 20 minute 5K. That would be amazing. But I don't know if my knees can handle it. So that's the thing. I've been trying to redo the way I run, which if you ever try to change the way you guys walk, it's strange. It's like you get ingrained, and I don't, I've always had heel strikes when you walk, and I've been trying to wear barefoot shoes for 6 months and change that whole health dynamic. So that's been kind of interesting to tackle, but it's a lot of trial and error. I'd say I fail a whole bunch during it, but I readjust things as I go. I'm like, hey, is this really benefiting me? Is it not? And then I've been doing measurements, and I'll even go to the doctor and get blood work done to see, hey, is this actually good for me or is it not? Because the problem with a lot of health, especially online, YouTube, wherever you get your stuff, is everyone has an opinion, and most times it gets overly complicated, and the answer is always it depends. So I just treat it like programming. Hey, if I eat this and I do this workout, what are the results? And then if the results aren't good, okay. Are they good physically? Great. Are they good with actually like blood work and that type of thing? Great. And then I just do that. But there's just so much misinformation, and um, there's just no good resources out there. A lot of the resources I see, it's so weird. Everyone has like a different opinion, and most of it's just wrong. Yeah, check the data. That's the big thing. Check the data. I think the things I found that's universal that everyone can apply that'll change your health. Like let's say you're like, I want to get healthy. There's really three things I saw massive benefit from, and they're pretty easy. One, don't drink alcohol. Shocker, right? Two, cut added sugar and artificial sweeteners. They spike your insulin levels, and that's what makes you fat. Pretty simple. So sugar, bad. Artificial sweetener, bad. So don't worry about calories and all that other stuff. Just cut anything that's sweet. And then I think the third one I would say is try to balance protein, fat, and carbohydrates. That's it. 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fat. Fat is good if you can hit 30%. The thing where people get caught up with fat is they think fat free. No, don't do any of the fat free stuff. It's just awful. Just regular old fat, regular old carbohydrates, whatever you can get for that. Don't eat chips or anything that's super refined. You know, the processed stuff is bad. We all know this stuff. It's like so like just staring us in the face. It's just no one really says it because no one will do it. That's the thing. It's incredibly hard to just do those three things. But I love fitness. I've gotten really into it. I've really gotten into health, and it's just such a weird industry. The fitness health industry is just so corrupt. Everybody wants to sell you some miracle pill or some supplement, and I don't do any of that crap. I have a protein powder, and I think creatine for recovery. You know, the really old stuff that's been around for 50 plus years. And that's it. And then I do a 1-a-day vitamin, like, you know, a multivitamin. But even the multivitamin stuff and that, I don't really, you know, I'll miss days. It doesn't really matter. Same with protein and creatine. I'm not obsessed around it. You know, perception, when it comes to the eggs, I totally agree with you. I think a lot of people put too much stock in that artificial powder stuff. I have 3 eggs every morning, and by far I've seen the most gains from my looking and analyzing of everything that I've eaten over the past 6 months. As soon as I switched to eggs, I saw massive just physical appearance changes, and also a lot more energy. So there's days I'll miss my protein powder stuff, you know, that garbage, because I think a lot of it's filler. You probably will be able to absorb like 20 or 30% of it, but it feels like the eggs I get just so much more benefit from because it's actually nutrients, not just made in a lab somewhere.